Alright, welcome back. It's a little bit of a different one today, as we are at TeamWorks, the East Midlands track at TeamWorks. And today I am with my football team, and this is kind of like the team activity day. It was our last one ever, as this was the last year that our team was running, as there isn't enough people to move up into a men's team. So today is all about having a bit of fun with some mates, and we got the whole team up here, the coaching staff as well, administration staff, and we're just here to have a good time. And yeah, I've decided to start at the back. I was originally meant to start at the front, but everyone thought to make it a bit more interesting, put me at the back. So this is actually my first time at this track, so I need to take a lap to get used to the layout. I've seen maybe one YouTube video from about 3 years ago on it, but other than that it was literally just turn up, have a look at the track and see how it will go really. Everyone's kind of on the same page. I think most of the team have been here once before, but this was years ago, and so everyone's kind of on a fresh slate and isn't really sure how it will go. But everyone's been briefed, everyone is ready. We had to split into 2 groups, but we got a certain amount of time as a whole, and we'll just see how it goes. Going to try and get us past as many people as possible and try and get the best times possible out of everyone, obviously, because that's what we get karting for. So we'll just see how it goes as we come out of the pit lane. Warming up the tyres a little bit. Don't know what this track is like, so just a little bit of swerving whilst we're under the yellows, just so that I know how grippy the track is. And we kind of get the jump on 2 people to start off with. I think that was Alana and Brooke that we got past. And we're just going to keep it nice and steady for the first lap. That's where the viewing area is, so all of the other teammates and coaching staff were stood watching as we did our sessions, taking it nice and easy through the first couple of corners, just to kind of see and get a gauge for how it's going to go as a lap and how we can string together some of these corners. This corner I found to be a little bit tricky of how to set it up to begin with, but as soon as we got a couple of laps done, we were able to get a good flow. Flat out through turn 1, and then a little bit of a lift for turn 2 and 3, a little bit of a braking zone for turn 4, and then the double turn into the chicane. You kind of just keep it flat out through there, a little lift on the entry if possible, and that's basically a lap. Keep it flat out all the way from there on. It's a very bumpy track, as you'll be able to see. I have got stability on, but even then it's still such a bumpy track just because of the concrete that's down. And we've caught back up to Alana again. We'll try and get past as quickly as possible. I'm not really pushing for any more aggressive overtakes like I would be if I was competing. Obviously this is just a bit of fun. I'm just here to have a laugh with everyone else, so I'm not really taking it too seriously. Obviously I want to beat everyone, but I just want to be having fun in the main part. I don't want to be knocking anyone off and causing any damage to anyone, so it's all just fun and games really. Catching up to the back of Brooke again. See if we can get past him fairly easily. Squeezing me out a little bit. Pretty nice defending, but just gets caught on the apex there, and I have to have a bit of a quick reaction to get past, but we make it do. catching up to a little bit of a train now as we go past Alana again and catch up to the rest of the pack. So in this pack we've got Steve, which is right in front of us, and then Tom, who's just ahead of him. Little bump there, but doesn't affect anyone. It's quite a narrow track, so it's quite difficult to overtake on regularly. So I'm guessing even for like the little events that they do here, it'll probably be quite a difficult track to overtake on because it's very flowy, and obviously with the rental karts being quite low torque, low acceleration, it's pretty a top speed kind of track, so it'll be very difficult to try and get past. Managed to get past Steve, and now we're on to Tom. None of the other guys. Oh, big spin there for Tom, just narrowly missed out. But as I was saying, none of the other guys are really taking turn one flat out there. They do get better over the course of the session, but it was only really me with the confidence at that time to go flat out through there. So that's where I was kind of looking to get past for a dive up the inside, or keep it a bit wider to get a better exit through turns 2. Just sneaking up the inside of Craig there, managing to keep it nice and neat as we get past. Now we're caught up to Darren and TJ, having a nice little battle. I looked a little bit up the inside, but the move wasn't really on, so I'll just stick behind again for now. Bump in the rear bumper of Darren, trying to look for any sort of move. I do have to back off a little bit into turn 1, and I just get a nice tighter line to try and get a better exit, but slowly just gaining and gaining, trying to look for any sort of way through. Another little look up the inside, but nothing available as of yet. I try and keep it quite tight on that exit to get a good run out, but again, nothing really there. There was a slight brief moment of a yellow flag which caught me off guard, but I managed to catch up quickly after that anyway. Again, more tighter line into the share game. You just have to back out of it a little bit there as Darren gets blocked a little bit by TJ, which is just normal, just how it goes. I have a little look up the inside again, but nothing really works, so try and get a tighter line for turn 2, 3. Nothing really works though, so I'm trying to get a wider entry into turn 4, go around the outside maybe, but can't find anything to get through, so just got to stick behind again for now. Good opportunity here, but a little bit of a scuffle there as I think TJ might have gone into Brooke, which caused Darren to then go into that group, and then obviously I had nowhere to go after that. Might have dislodged the barrier a little bit, and there might have also been someone that went into the barriers around turn 1 to 2-ish. So we're just going to carry on going on the yellows for now. Back to green now, closing up on Brooke, and a little bit of a break there from him, and again a bit of a skid as Steve then comes up the inside of the corner, but luckily I managed to have a better exit. As Brooke, again, I don't know if he sees me here or not, because we do kind of get squeezed out a little bit there, but luckily there was no one behind to overtake us. Close back up to him now. I think from what I found, the problem with Brooke was that he was braking a bit too late and a bit too hard, and it was causing him to spin out a little bit, and in reality he probably could have made the corners, but obviously without going karting that much, no one really knows how much you can put your trust in these karts. that caused him to erratically brake a little bit, but it wasn't bad. It definitely worked and kept us behind for a lot of laps. So I'm saying that as I just get past him. So it worked to an extent. Obviously it's not the quickest thing in the world, but it definitely worked to keep people behind. Yellow flags again, as there might have been a little bit of a shunt coming into turn 3, but it looks like they've all sorted themselves out again, so should be all good to go back to greens. As that's Steve going very slowly. We'll try and go around the outside to have the inside line on the chicane, but I wasn't really fancying that dive up the inside there, especially not seeing as we're just having a bit of fun, so I just left it as I knew I'd be able to get another opportunity later down the line. Again, prioritising that exit speed and managed to get past pretty easily. And now we're catching up to the back of another pack that seems to be battling in front. Again, caught up to Darren and TJ, still fighting, and just almost get caught out. I've got a little look up the inside, but can't really make it stick, so just sticking behind for now. Again, bumping on the rear bumper, just to kind of give him a little push through the straights. Can I get that tighter line to get the little switch back on? I can. I'm up the inside and I'm definitely past Aaron now. Little bit of oversteer there from a bump on the track. As I said before, it was a very bumpy track. And someone spun out on the apex there. And they're just going to try and recorrect themselves as we go back to yellows. But very quickly sorted out, and I try and look for the move up the inside on the entry of the chicane, but it doesn't really work out, so we're just going to stick behind for now. A little bit wide there from TJ, and that kind of hinders his exit, gets us alongside, and to be fair to him, he does dive up the inside again, but I have that overspeed on the outside just to make it stick, and that is the rest of that pack dealt with. I give a little number 1 sign to my teammates that are stood waiting to be let into the pits for their next session, and that kind of riles them up a little bit, as you'll see later on, but good bit of fun that really. That's another yellow flag, just momentarily on. Must have been for a slight incident, but nothing too serious, as it comes straight back to green pretty much straight away. Again, another yellow just come out momentarily, and that is the full yellows for the checker flag, and the go to pit sign is up, and that concludes the first session. Now that is the pit entry right there, and I don't think Alana realised that it was the end of the race, and that meant that she just completely missed the pit lane and didn't go through. But yeah, that concludes the first of the sessions at TeamWorks against my football team. Make sure you tune in for part 2, where my car actually breaks down before I leave the pit lane and I get a stone cold car, and so see how I deal with those conditions against everyone else again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.